Hi, and welcome to my June 30th video update. I use the FilMic Pro camera video app when I'm recording these updates, and I also use it when I'm recording clips that I'm going to, for other videos that I'm going to be editing on my iPad with LumaFusion. And it is a very, very good app. And I'd heard about a companion app called FilMic Remote, and just wondered how it worked. So I posted a question on Facebook and got some feedback, and they seemed to be positive. I didn't get a whole lot of reaction, but they seemed to be positive. So I went ahead last week and paid out the $8 US for the app, and I'm glad I did. I'm using it right now, in fact, because what it lets me do is use the rear-facing camera on my iPhone 7 Plus, which is a 12 megapixel camera, compared to the front-facing, which you'd use for FaceTime, which is a 7 megapixel. Still not bad, and I'm not unhappy with the video that I've gotten before. But one of the applications I see of this remote app is that I can do this. The other is obviously that I can set my iPhone up on a tripod, sort of hide in the bushes, and I could start videos of birds or animals or something like that, or I could have it running and be part of an interview, for example, but yet still control it from another device. Now, the downside is you have to have another device. I'm fortunate. I do have an old iPad 9.7, generation 3, I believe it is. I have my notes on here and my iPad minis down in front of me, and it's running FilMic Pro. A really happy discovery, and I think there are probably going to be lots of other ways that I can use it. It's really a very accomplished combo, FilMic Pro and FilMic Remote. I'll probably do a photography and technology tools episode on how one uses this combo of apps. Another development this past week was I completed the 10-day trial, or the 10-day trial that I had signed up for with TheVJ.com ended, and I had to make a decision whether I wanted to subscribe to it or not. And I decided to go ahead and do it. I was impressed with the videos that I'd gone through, and saw that there was value in it, and hoped that there would be continuing value. And I was very impressed with the attention I got from Michael Rosenblum and Linda Lambden, who are the co-founders, husband and wife, and they're co-founders of TheVJ.com. Michael and Lisa, not Linda, Lisa, are experienced journalists, broadcast journalists, and they bring to the table a lot of their own personal experience that spans 20 to 30 years. But they only started VJ.com about 2 to 3 years ago. They've been doing face-to-face boot camps of training people, reporters, and other people who want to tell stories in a journalistic way or for a journalistic purpose, using smaller cameras. They've been doing trainings like this for a long time, and they've even migrated to some degree from video cameras to smartphones because of the increased capability of smartphones these days, and the increased portability, obviously. So far, the courses I've gone through have been very informative and helpful, and I've learned a lot of techniques that I wouldn't have otherwise. So it's a service that I recommend. The annual cost is not that great. And if you are into learning things remotely online, then this is probably for you. And you want to learn more about storytelling, the editing process, the video recording process. This is really is a good, a valuable resource. I am, however, still looking for good stories to practice with, and I'm not giving up. I'm not really, there's a certain part of me that's very creative, and there's a certain part of me that's not so creative, and I'm finding that for example, the finding of stories is the part that's not so creative. But besides storytelling, what going through these courses and thinking about doing videos has taught me is that I think I'd like to try to apply that to my regular episodes in photography and technology tools, which typically are about things, a product that I'm using, software I'm using, or a combination of equipment that I'm using to do these videos, or just for photography. And I think there might be a little more creative way to do that, as well as with my Learning Photography series. Maybe there's a little more creative way to do that as well. And so it's made me rethink how I want to do those episodes. And I've got ideas bouncing around in my head. And speaking of ideas bouncing around in one's head, that brings me to this week's resource. The resource I've picked for this week is Patrick LeVar. Patrick is an American who's living in Japan and has a family. And I'm not sure what he does for a living, but his approach is, and his moniker for his Patrick LeVar YouTube channel is 1 Minute with Me. And he's focused entirely on doing videos with smartphone technology, smartphones and mobile devices. So he has, just as I do, an array of equipment that he's accumulated, and he's kind of learning the process as he's teaching the process. And he's very entertaining. He has an interesting style. So take a look at Patrick LeVar. I'll put a link in the description below, and see what you think. So thank you for checking in, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.